Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sudhanshu Kumar and today I'm going to talk about one topic called as how I learned data science or maybe any other technology. So back then in 2014, I have joined industry as a fresher and I have received my training in Java. So Java stack, you can say. And when it comes to a project allocation, so I got my very first project in SAP. And literally, I was not having any idea that how, what is like a SAP, how things works in SAP. And my SAP module was a Fiori, UI5 and WebDynamo Pro. So yes, Java was required and I have already received training in Java. That is completely fine. But again, SAP is a completely closed framework and you will not be able to get many materials or maybe tutorials or videos over internet. So I have started receiving some sort of KT knowledge transfer for sure. And apart from that, so I got a system access and day and night. So I was trying to explore. Okay, fine. So how things works over here? What is the implementation which is already done? Because the in a project in which I got my allocation, so that project was like a up and running project since last 1 or 2 year. So I'm not sure about the exact timeline, but yes, it was up and running. And many of my team members, senior team members, have already done so much of development over there. So what I have done is like I have started exploring each and everything. And first of all, before exploring these things, so I was trying to understand that why this particular project and what is the end goal, what is the end objective of this particular project, why we have received this particular task, what will be an outcome of this particular task. And then I have started taking a KT for all the modules which was already developed, in which I'm going to make some improvement or maybe I'm supposed to add something. So in this way, so I have started learning SAP, and within 2 to 3 months, yes, it took time for sure because I was like completely new and completely new for a industry itself, right? So I have received some KT, and then in parallel to that, so I have done implementation, some sort of a implementation. I was taking so much of help from my colleague, from my entire team member. Sometime I used to connect with other team as well, so who is also working into a SAP, and it's a different stack, because inside SAP you will be able to find out multiple stack in a functional side as well as in a technical side, implementation side. You will be able to find out. So yes, that helped me a lot. And then in between, so I got to know about big data, because data was like a kind of like big data was a buzzword at that point of a time back then, in 2015, 2016, right? Then I thought of that, okay fine, so maybe I can try to build my career, right? I can try to establish myself into big data, because SAP is not an open source technology. And after some time, right, so after some time, so if you are not aware about so much of SAP tech stack or maybe a functional stack, so for sure your career will be like a blocked, and you will not be able to get appraisal or maybe hike, or even if you will make a transition, so you will end up getting a regular hike. So big data was a buzzword over there. Now, so fine, SAP I have learned, and I was able to get a platform. I was able to get a team member who was helping me a lot day and day night, and because of them, so I was able to learn, or I was able to acquire this SAP technology. But in big data, right? So no one was aware about it at that point of time in my team, right? Then how I have started, and problem with me is like it's my biggest problems even till today. So if you will go and ask me that, okay fine, so you have to attend some classes, I'll sleep. Simple. I'll just sleep, right? And again, yes, that was the problem. I was aware about it. So I don't like joining classes, right? So what I used to do is I used to read books a lot, and I used to explore so many things by myself. And this is what I had started doing in big data. So yes, SAP work was going on. I was doing good by that time, because now I had some sort of experience. And after that, so I have started exploring big data inside big data. So again, there are so much of technology stack you will be able to find out, not just one, starting from Hadoop 1.x, Hadoop 2.x, and then like a Hive, a Pig, a MapReduce, Flume, Uji, Impala, Kafka, Spark, again multiple models inside the Spark, cloud, then integration, then ops, then infra, so much, so many things, right? And I was trying to prepare myself for a transition, and I was supposed to showcase my experience in a big data. And literally, it was like I was completely confused. I was completely confused that okay, so I'm thinking of like making a transition, but maybe I'm not able to get a sufficient amount of experience or maybe knowledge. So how I'm going to modify my resume? How I'm going to write these things that okay, fine. So I have worked into big data, and this is like a kind of a things which I have delivered. That was a biggest concern. So what I have done is like, okay, I'll just try to explore, and I will try to implement. So yes, I have started learning Hadoop, let's suppose, and then in parallel to that, so I was trying to implement that. Okay, Hadoop conceptually it's fine. Architecture wise, now I know what is Hadoop and what is big data, and then why we are using big data, what is the meaning of ETL, what is the meaning of data warehousing, what is the meaning of a data mining, all those things, it's completely clear theoretically. But again, so I had to do a implementation so that I will be able to showcase into my resume. So yes, I was started implementing it, and Hadoop is an open source technology. So yes, you can do an installation in your local system or maybe over to the cloud. Again, back then, Cloudera was providing you a complete VM, a complete sandbox, or if I'll talk about Hortonworks, so Hortonworks is providing this complete sandbox for you. So it's completely fine. I was able to do a setup, and then I was able to like run couple of machine, couple of, we can say, MapReduce program, and Hive and all those like a Pig script I was able to run, or maybe a SQL or maybe a Uji script I was able to configure, and I was able to run all of those things. That is completely fine. And yes, it was a painful like a journey for sure, because when you are new to a technology, and even technology itself was new into a market, so for sure you will not be able to get so much of documentation or so much of tutorials over the internet. That was biggest bottleneck I have faced when I was trying to make a transition into a big data. Then somehow I have learned all of those things, and in parallel to that, so yes, implementation is very much important as a professional. So in a professional life, if you are just trying to learn something, if you are just trying to explore something, it is not going to help you out at all in your interview, because in your interview you have to talk about your work. So yes, I have prepared some small project, and then I went for interview. In a couple of my initial interview, right, I think 5 6 interviews back to back. Yes, I got an interview call because I have updated my resume and all those things beautifully. I have taken some suggestions from my colleagues who is already working into a big data, and some of my friends who is already working into a big data, who have recently made a transition, because big data industry itself was new at that point of a time. So yes, some of my initial interview into a big data, if I'll try to talk about, back then I was in Hyderabad, and I have attended many interviews from a startup as well as from like MNC companies. So it was like really a horrible experience for me, and even today, so I don't want to recall those like horrible experiences. So it was like that, like I went for the interview, and yes, I was sitting inside a room, and interviewer was asking me questions for first 15 20 minutes, and I was literally not able to relate my learning as and my experience. That was like a kind of a disaster, right? That was literally a disaster. And yes, even that was a learning for me, that people are expecting something different inside the industry, and maybe I'm on a different label, because I think that okay, fine, I have learned something, and then I can work. But over there, expectations was completely different. They were expecting someone who knows these things, who have already implemented those things, so that they can directly work into a project. And again, that is justified, right? So whenever company is going to hire you, so for sure they are not going to hire you just because you have learned something. They are going to hire you because you will be able to deliver something, you will be able to work in their project. So fine, this is this in a hard way. So yes, I have explored all those things, I have learned all of those things, and then I have prepared myself again. I took some time, like a month of time. I took, and then I have again restructured my entire resume, my entire profile, my entire project, and the most important part, right? So I have restructured an entire story, that how I'm going to talk about my big data experience, and then how I'm going to talk about my entire resume, project. Again, inside a project, its problem statement, its technology stack, its roles and responsibility, its hosting, its productizations, everything, everything. So in this way, yes, even before that, so I have learned all of those things in bits and pieces, but again, dots was not connected. Now this time I have connected all the dots, and then I started applying for an interview. So yes, I was able to get an interview because my resume was good. I have structured each and everything in a beautiful manner. So yes, I have spent a lot of time on my resume, so I was able to get a call very easily. But again, so yes, I went for the interview, and back to back, back to back, back to back, I have given so many interviews, and I have received so many offer letters as well. So, but still, I remember the kind of scoldings I have received from my previous interview, and that was a kind of learning for me. So again, guys, so this things is very common. It happens with all of us, right? So we are not supposed to worry about it. Yes, we are supposed to take those things as a feedback, and then we are supposed to move on. Now, in between, when you will be a part of big data industry, right? So for sure, you will be able to see a data analytics team, you will be able to see a data science team as well, because inside a data industry, this three major stack, you will be able to find out: big data, data science, and then data analytics. These three things. Then I have started developing my interest into a data science, and yes, now again, so recently I have joined a big data industry, and then I started thinking about data science, that okay, fine, how I will be able to learn a data science. So first of all, I have started exploring that how much effort I have to put if I have to make a transition into a data science. Then I got to know that okay, so this time I have to learn a new language, because I was from a Java background, and yeah, I had a Java background. So again, Python is one of the popular language, or back then, so even R programming language people was doing. Nowadays very few people are using R programming language, but now Python is everything, you can say. So I have started exploring Python, but my previous learning experience, the way I have learned, the way I have experienced, the way I have given an interview, the way I have prepared my resume, helped me a lot again this time, right? So first of all, I have created a list that okay, fine, so let's try to learn first of all maybe Python, then I'll move to a statistics, then I will try to move to a machine learning, then I will not only just build a model. So what I will do is this time, so I will try to productionize, or maybe I will try to build a end-to-end solution, right? And again, this is the same kind of advice I used to give to all of my viewers and all of my students, or whoever try to discuss these kind of things with me, that learn, that is fine, but at the same point of a time, try to understand that okay, how I'm going to implement, or how I'm going to utilize these things in a project, or maybe how I can try to solve a problem, a real-time problem, right? Maybe for a common people, maybe for a community, or maybe for a industry. So this time I have applied this kind of a strategy, and yes, while learning Python itself, so I have started building many different application. It was whether it's a desktop application, whether it's a kind of applications which is running in a backend. So many automation tasks I have derived, and then I have started working into that one. In between, so yes, I have learned a little bit of statistics, you can say, right? A little bit of statistics, little bit of mathematics, because back then I was kind of average in mathematics. So yes, I was able to understand all the terminologies very easily, and it was not a very heavy mathematics that we generally use in a machine learning or maybe deep learning, computer vision, anywhere. So yes, I have learned all of those things. Now, like coming to the machine learning part, so one by one, one by one, one by one. So I started learning machine learning. First of all, I was trying to understand that, okay, fine. So what is machine learning, and then what is the division which comes inside machine learning, and then algorithms, whether it's a supervised, whether it's a unsupervised, and again inside supervised. So what and all things I have to learn. So I have listed down. In parallel to that, so let's suppose I have learned one algorithm, so I will try to implement it. Then second algorithm, again I will try to implement it, and I will not just try to implement an algorithm, so I will try to build a complete pipeline itself, starting from a business problem. Because when you try to learn, generally we think that, okay, if I'm going to learn maybe some framework or technology, my work is done. But again, it's a misconception according to me. So it's a misconception. First of all, you have to understand a business problem anywhere. Doesn't matter what technology you are going to utilize, but you have to understand a business problem first of all. And this is something which I have learned in a very hard way when I was in SAP, and then when I was in a big data. So business problem will be having upper hand all the time. So you have to have like a understanding about a business problem, and then out of that business problem you will try to derive maybe a data, or maybe you will try to derive some infrastructure, or maybe a technology. So technology is nothing but it's just a supporting element for your business problem. If you are not able to understand a business problem, and then based out of that, if you're not able to derive a technology, there is no meaning of learning a technology, right? There are thousands of technology that you can learn, there are thousands of algorithms that you can learn, but we are supposed to know first of all a business problem. And this is kind of like, this will be the expectations when you will go for a interview, that how good you are in terms of understanding a business problem. So again, this time I have applied same kind of a procedure. I have learned I have explored a business problem, and then I was trying to implement all of those things. I have built the complete pipeline, starting from a data ingestion, or maybe like a data cleaning, or maybe a master data management, or maybe a data warehousing, maybe a data transformations, and then implementations of machine learning algorithms, and then productionizations, fine tuning of the machine learning algorithm, the complete DevOps cycle of the machine learning algorithms, and then a final production. So this is the complete curve which I used to follow whenever I used to learn some algorithms. So yes, I had some sort of a learning experience from my big data part, and I have started learning it. And in my team itself, right, in my team itself, so there was like another team in our like a whole a process. So there was another team so who was working into a data science on some sort of algorithms. So I have started communicating with them that, okay, fine, so what kind of a problem that you are trying to solve, what kind of a data you are receiving. So there are many kind different kind of information I have started extracting, and yes, they were like very helpful to me, and they have helped me a lot. For sure. So I'm really like thankful to all of them who has helped me in my entire learning journey. And then I have started looking for an opportunity. So yes, first of all, I was trying to look for an opportunity inside my team itself, and yes, I got so much of opportunity. Then I was like looking for a transition into some different company itself. So yes, I have given an interview, and this time, right, when I was like giving an interview for a data science, so this time things was pretty much smooth for me. I have not repeated the same mistake which I have made when I was trying to make a transition into a big data industry. So yes, it was kind of a easy things for me. But again, when I get into an industry, then I got to know that, okay, machine learning is not everything. And again, so we can't solve all the problem with the help of machine learning. And my managers was started asking me to do this, do that, to solve this problem, that problem. Some of the problem was related to computer vision, some of the problem was related to NLP, and many different kind of a task they have started assigning me. But I knew that, okay, so if I have learned machine learning algorithm, if I understand a system, first of all, if you understand a problem statement, if you understand a system, if you understand a complete process, then you will not feel pain to do this implementation by using any sort of a technology. So this is the reason, this is the place where I used to focus more and more, that first of all understand a business problem, understand a complete pipeline, and then in between, so try to understand that which technology and why, what will be the best possible architecture, what will be the best possible infrastructure, what will be the best possible technology stack I'm going to use, whether it's a programming language or some framework or something else, or including algorithms, right? So if you understand a system, then this data science will be a small part you will be able to find out. It's just like a backend, right? So where you try to do some like a small part which is responsible for doing some like a prediction, forecasting, detection, tracking, whatever it is, right? Whatever you say for any kind of a task. So this is what I have done, and yes, I have started receiving. And as I was like, I used to deliver like many things to my team for my project. So yes, I have started getting so many tasks into different stacks, not just in a machine learning. But yes, I have just joined as an ML engineer, but now I have started working into a variety of stacks as well. So this is one way of learning, which one way of learning or one way of procedure which I have followed. The another way of learning is like I used to give a classes, right? So it's been like a more than 5 years since I'm giving classes. So I used to give a classes for big data. I used to give a classes for initially machine learning, Python. Now it's everything, right? So even for cloud, big data, machine learning, data science, I used to take so many sessions, so many webinars. I used to give, and even now. So yes, I do give so many webinars, seminars. So again, it was a very good opportunity for me, because when you give this webinar or maybe a seminar, right? So you go and meet many people, and everyone will be having a different kind of a perspective. They thinks in a different way. They are working into a different things. So when you interact with people, right? It's not like learning is something that you will be able to get by reading some books or by watching some videos. You get you learn many things from a different channels. So again, this is one of the channel, right? A people, a connects, right? So when you try to connect with someone and relevant people, and when you discuss this technology, this business problems and its solutions, and all sort of things, so you will experience a complete different dimension. You will end up receiving a completely different kind of a learning. And again, if you are able to correlate, right? So sometimes you will feel that, okay, fine, so okay, I don't know like what this person is talking about, right? And sooner or later, when you will start correlating these things, right, you will enjoy this a lot. And this is again one a very good way, right, to learn. Best way I can say to learn. So yes, one is direct learning, maybe by doing an implementation or by reading some of the books. Second part is talk about it, give a classes, give a webinar, give a seminar, try to record yourself, maybe try to publish it for a community, right? So in this way you will end up improvising yourself, plus you will end up helping a community. Third way is I will say there are other way as well. So keep on exploring all the new things which is coming into a market. Try to implement it ASAP. So this is the way by which I used to learn in general. So guys, I think this was my complete journey, and there are various things comes in between when you try to learn, when you try to explore, and learning is a kind of endless curve. So it's not like I will be able to get some sort of a mastery into 1 year, 2 year, or maybe in 5 year. Things are changing. Technology stack is changing. So for sure, it's like a continuous stack. You will have to keep on exploring something. But yes, if you are a part of that process, so you will not have to attend some of the classes. You will not have to prepare for something. So just try to become a part of the complete process. Try to connect each and every dot, starting from a business problem and its solution by using a technology that you know. So in this way, you will be able to learn in a best possible way. So this is all about my learning experience, guys. So hope you have liked this video. So yes, you can subscribe to my channel if you have liked this video, and in a comment box, so please do share that what is your learning curve, what do you think, that what is the best possible way of a learning, and for sure, so we can have a discussion on that particular part. With that, thank you so much, guys, and see you again in my next video. Thank you. Have a great day and night ahead.